Thank you, Your Excellence, for joining us today here in this quick chat about what Ma'an has in store for us. Through our talk, I would like to know more about what Ma'an does, what kind of role does it have within the government itself, and how can it contribute in the ecosystem itself. So if you can start by quickly telling us about Ma'an and its role within the government and what kind of services it can provide.
First of all, thank you very much for hosting me here, Saif, and the pleasure is mine. I find it always very interesting to talk about Ma'an because I believe Ma'an is coming with a very unique mandate, bringing a very forward thinking from the government, looking at the social sector. So Ma'an is one of the 9 operators under the Department of Social Development at Abu Dhabi government. It has been established on February 2019, so it's a young organization. This organization, I would say, take on its consideration the social innovation that is basically attending for the social challenges at Abu Dhabi government. Today, if I'm going to illustrate Ma'an, I would describe it as an innovative tool of kit that is deployed to attend for a social priority or a social challenge. This tool of kit is contained of 5, I would say, main elements. The first one would be the Social Innovation Fund, and here we're trying to achieve sustainable funding for the social entrepreneurship and non-profit organizations. And secondly, I would talk about the social contracting, which is something newly introduced on the social sector. It has been started almost 18 years in the UK, and now it's used by more than 40 countries worldwide. I am proudly announcing that Ma'an was one of the first who used the social contracting through the social contract bonds in the region overall. Thirdly, I would highlight the community engagement, which is basically trying to provide services through volunteering, so community serving community wherever there is a need for services that is provided by the government nor the private sector. So civic society stand for each other to support each other wherever it's needed. A very interesting also pillar, and I think you've experienced that yourself, it's the incubation and acceleration, and here we're focused as much as possible to stimulate startups, social startups, to take a lead in providing services also wherever it's needed. As you know, those incubation programs and acceleration programs are very much linked to the social challenges set by the Abu Dhabi government. Finally, the outreach management, and I believe this is one new and unique approach of changing the behavior of a society, not only through the classical way of communication, but also involving the community to be able to participate and get engaged with our activities at Ma'an.
Beautiful, beautiful. And since we're talking about the youth and we're talking about the innovation within Ma'an, can you tell us what kind of things do Ma'an contribute when it comes to the youth itself?
Definitely. I think the youth can play a big role in what Ma'an is doing, and actually through the youth we can complement the mandate of Ma'an. Today, if we're talking about social entrepreneurship, we're basically opening the horizon for the young generation to come and participate with their ideas and how to attend for those social priorities. So if you think about it, there is the private sector, there is the public sector, and there is now the third sector, which entails the non-profit organization and the social entrepreneurship. On top of that, we do have many opportunities related to the community engagement, and those opportunities would definitely require the time and the specialties of those young generation to participate for on their free time to support those causes. So there are many ways that they can contribute basically to Ma'an, and Ma'an can contribute to their also progress in their life as well.
Amazing, amazing. So when it comes to one of the things that the youth can contribute in the community itself, volunteering is a big part of that. Why should the youth volunteer, and why should they make it part of their monthly routine in general?
I believe volunteering proven that it adds to the individual more than what the individual is adding to the cause that they volunteer for, and that has been proven by surveys and research actually of the well-being. So today, part of being responsible as a citizen in any country, you need to feel what's going around you, and you need to be part of what's going around you, and that happens mainly through volunteering and working to support causes. So volunteering, I would say it's a two-edged weapon where you can basically fill a requirement on the society, and at the same time you're feeling good about yourself and giving you the feel of accomplishment when you participate in such opportunities.
Sum it up by helping people helps yourself. It's at the end of the day, as a community, you part of it. It's a complete cycle.
True.
Yeah.
True. I do have a question for you, Saif, as well.
Sure.
And that question related to your experience through your journey, part of the incubation program. You've been through that, and you've been through the ups and downs through that program, and now you're leading a very successful business. So can you share with us your journey through the incubation program, and even before that, how did you hear about Ma'an incubation program, and what motivated you to participate, and how are you doing right now?
Sure. So I'm the founder of Nafas meditation app. It's a meditation app that helps the Arabic-speaking people reduce stress, anxiety, and insomnia. We are basically trying to instill the practice of mindfulness in the Arabic generation overall. We help them have the positive kind of attitude when it comes to gratitude, hope, loving themselves, and loving life overall. Honestly, before we started with Ma'an program, we were your typical startup. We cared more about the money, obviously. We cared about the high growth and running it as a typical startup that anyone else does. But when we learned about Ma'an and their interest in mental health, we found that we basically discovered an entity that believes in what we believe as well. That mental health is important, and they are willing to support us in that. Throughout the program, it was really interesting because it transformed me as Saif into focusing as a social entrepreneurship rather than your own typical startup. And Ma'an helped us understand that impact can be more than the financial gains as well. Things like how many people that we help, how many benefit from us, how do we shape the community and future generations with it. One of the most, I'd say, one of the biggest things that happened recently to us in Nafas is that we always get a few feedback from our users, but specifically one of them shared with us her story and told us that she always had suicidal thoughts, and Nafas helped them, or her specifically, to overcome it. And I feel that with that statement, now I have the responsibility to work on having as much as possible of an impact within the community itself. And I mean...
Very nice. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
So from your experience in Ma'an here and the people who are interested in social entrepreneurship overall, what kind of advice do you have for the youth?
My advice to the youth is basically to find, first of all, their passion. And it's all right to do mistakes and learn from those mistakes, because it's not easy to know what you're passionate about. And then take it serious. So this passion needs to be supported by a complete study around your business visibility, and you have to have your strategies and financials all sound to be able to support your passion. What I noticed through my experience is that people, when it comes to passion, they are driven behind that passion, forgetting that it would require a backbone to make it successful and to make it impactful. So my advice to the young generation who are pursuing to be social entrepreneurs is that whenever they find their passion, is to equip it well with a strong, solid studies to make them able to sustain and to have the impact that they desire on the society.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time. I'm sure that a lot of people are excited at the moment to explore more about Ma'an. You have done a great job telling us about it.
Thank you very much for hosting me, Saif. And I think if people have an interest to know more about Ma'an, they can visit us through our official platforms.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.